Hi guys, it's Alec here. So data handling is big to us at my BI, and we really love optimizing our ability to deal with data and make it faster for guys. And I think there's a lot of administrative people we work with, and a lot of people that actually work with Excel that we always try and help. So I'm going to show you something that's quite nice, a few new features of Excel I think many people aren't aware of. So what I want to show you is I've got 20 names over here, and I just want to say thank you to this website. It's thousandrandomnames.com. I just love it. It's so quick to get some names into an Excel sheet. You basically just go into the sheet, Control A, that highlights everything. And if you just say Control C, you can paste that you just paste it here. Now that looks a little bit strange because it's formatted, but you can, if I undo that and I just paste it as values, that actually creates or let me write it is values, but then unformatted. That's neat and usable. Okay, I'm just going to delete this sheet. So let me get back to these 20 names. There we go. So what I want to show you is how do you split out a name and a surname over here. So it's not always easy to realize that you've got some formulas you can work with. So let me just quickly take you through this. So first, we can use something called text split. So text split helps you to split something by a delimiter. So I'm just going to say that piece of text by a space. So that'll split it for me easily. And the thing is that you want to then drag it down, but if I double click here, you'll see it actually doesn't just auto populate. It's because it's a spilled formula. So that didn't now kind of like drag down. So I can drag it down by hand. But the problem is if I add something over here, it's not gonna automatically grow. There we go. So I have to drag it down again. So how do I deal with that? So here's another way to deal with it. You say equals text before, okay, and you highlight this entire field, okay, and I'm just going to fix that because that's going to do something for me by name. So I'm going to first split out the name. So there we go. And then I'm going to copy it over and I'm going to say text after. There we go. And there we go. So now you've got a name and a surname, and just see the different text kind of formulas. This is a text split, this is a text before, and that's a text after. But you'll see that this thing actually, because I took the whole column here, it has spilled this formula straight down to line number 1,048,576, which is all in every single row in Excel on a sheet, which is not efficient on your usage of formulas and your processor on your computer. But the benefit obviously is if I go and I say Alec Candiotis, I don't know how to spell my surname. Anyway, there it grew, but not great. Okay, so check what the new operator is. It's called a trim range operator. It is awesome. Check this out. So what I do, I copy that formula over, and I then copy the surname formula over. And I'm going to go into this actual formula bar. And the operator is a dot operator. You can also use what they call trim range. Okay, so you can say trim range, which is that. Oops, sorry, guys. Trim range. And I can say, give me the range, and it's gonna trim that range for me. See there. Um, what then what then happens is, so I'll do the same here for this one, and I'll kind of like evolve this formula for you. Trim range, there we go. And I just close that range over there, and there it's done it for me. So now if I go and paste, just retype Alekandiotis, you'll see it grows automatically over here. Quite nice. You also see it's got this blue block saying that's the spilled range. But another way to do this is to remove the trim range. So we're not going to use trim range. I'm actually going to, you know what? Let me take these two formulas rather, and I'm going to use the trim range operator. So you either go after the semicolon here or before it to trim before and after ranges. So let me first do. You can see the purpose of it is to say, but there are spaces after my names, and I want to go and I don't want you to go and land a lot of NAs, over year. I actually want you to stop when the range stops automatically. And I can just put a dot because it's after and before. Okay, so after the semicolon over here, that's when it stops. Immediately works over there, and there you'll see I can now put a dot as well. It's cool, eh? So now if I press Alicandiotis, it automatically also grows over here. And by the way, the operator does work before it as well. So if I go in here and I say fill in something here, obviously this all is now becoming strange because it's taken the whole column. I'm just going to move it one up and delete this row. Now it's going to work again, but the problem is with this trim operator over here, it's working nicely here, but you can see this is not working. So all that we do is we say also trim, because there's now a space before my range, trim before it, and then there we go again, and trim before it. So it's got this cool little operator here, the dot operator for trim range. Okay, guys, I just thought I'll show you that, and that really does create a lot of efficiencies. Imagine what you can do with like calculations. Here's the 1,000 names. If I take all of this 1,000 names and I just kind of like go and copy and paste them over here, check how fast this thing just updates. See, so that thing obviously wasn't efficient. Yeah, it split it out for me, but I have to drag it down. But this is just auto spilt straight down to the row number 1,000 over here, and it'll just keep going as names are added. All right, so that does make it very efficient once you've understood these spill formulas and the operators that are there. Okay, guys, have a great one. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.